I've started all these off by just asking you to introduce yourselves and where you're based.
My name is Dr. Craig Robertson, and I'm based here at the School of Ocean Sciences at Bangor University.
So my name's Dr. Louise Anderson, and I'm a Marine Natural Capital Evidence Specialist at the Joint Nature Conservation Committee.
Hello, I'm Heidi Tillin. I'm based at the Marine Biological Association of the UK, and I'm an Applied Science Research Fellow there.
Who else is part of the team who's not here?
That would be Professor Kerry Howell at Plymouth University, who is one of our leading UK experts in deep sea environments and mapping of those ecosystems and their services.
I was asking you about where the idea for this project came from. Can you, between you, walk me through where it started?
The project idea, from my perspective, came from a meeting that Kerry and I had at a recent conference where we spoke about the need to try and bridge the gap in deep sea habitats from just describing what species are present to what those communities are actually doing. What is their role in the ecosystem? And I think that fits in quite nicely with what you're doing, Louise, in JNCC.
Yeah, it really does. So my work is very much about trying to understand the services that we get from different ecosystems, and we have a lot of questions about how we can better understand the functions performed by different species in different habitats, and understanding how traits come into that and influence those functions.
We still have a lot of real gaps in understanding, first of all, some of the fundamental biological and ecological characteristics, even of inshore species. And obviously the deep sea is an enormous gap. This is a really exciting time to look at updating our traits knowledge and then expanding it to the deep sea.
The PhD is based in Plymouth, but because we have various associate partners, the candidate would be able to take some time in those various institutions to further their understanding and facilitate the chapters of the PhD. Essentially, the first chapter of the PhD is to collate the marine organism traits and explore the links between traits and ecosystem services for those organisms. And then going forward, that matrix of traits that were created will be used in the subsequent chapters under the guidance of myself, Kerry, Louise, and Heidi.
What sort of person should apply for this PhD?
I think, first of all, somebody with a real interest in the biology and ecology of deep sea habitats, but also somebody who's interested actually in how they're going to be managed and some of those policy implications going forward. It's really an opportunity to be right at the beginning of kind of building some of the basic blocks that could then be used for years and years. So I think we look for somebody who's interested in how their work makes an impact as well.
One of the things that's really exciting about this is the opportunity to see how the science gets translated into policy and decision making. So the ideal candidate would also have an interest in that side of things and seeing how science gets applied.
Well, given that the project is quite transdisciplinary, marrying kind of marine biology with habitat mapping and some ecosystem services management, etc., there's an opportunity to engage with our associate partners and learn what those institutions provide in terms of government agencies or academic resources, and kind of develop their career from there, really.
It's an ideal springboard for somebody who wants to pursue an academic career, or somebody who wants to go into applied science, whether that's management or consultancy. I think doing this, it will lead to a lot of valuable skills, and they're transferable.
Finally, we want to make sure that applicants put in the best application they can. Could they contact you with further questions that could help?
You can definitely get in touch with Professor Kerry Howell at Plymouth. You can also get in touch with myself, craig.robertson@bangor.ac.uk.
If you have any questions about the JNCC side of things, you can contact me at louise.anderson@jncc.gov.uk.
Absolutely, I'd be happy to be contacted. I'd also say that, if you're interested in just sort of some of the trait basics, is say look on the Marlin website, which is a project hosted by the MBA. If you look at our biotic website, you'll see collections of traits there. And then, of course, I think as well, just searching out some of the latest work that's been published in this field. And I think it'll give you an idea of how much interest there is in these. They really are a powerful tool. So I think there's lots of resources out there, and I'd certainly be happy to talk to anybody who's interested in the project.